So in the previous session, I remember we had discussed the scene 1 of this play, the Glass Menagerie. We are meeting after a long time, so I would like to tell you what the story is all about. The Glass Menagerie, a play by Tennessee Williams. The play is talking about the Wingfield family living in the small tenement in St. Louis, belonging to the lower middle class. There are three family members: a mother, Amanda, son, Tom, and daughter, Laura. Only three family members are there. Though there are only three, but they are not unitedly integrated together. We don't find any coherent unity among them. Son is solely responsible for meeting the ends with. He is the sole breadwinner. No doubt, mother is also trying to raise the income of the house by selling the subscriptions of a magazine. So here, Tom is leading a very frustrated kind of a life. He is very disillusioned kind of a person. Actually, he wants to pursue the career of writing. He wants to become a writer. But in order to help the family economically, he has to join a shoe factory and he has to work there. He does not enjoy his job. So there is dissatisfaction with him, with his duty also, with his work also, because he wanted to do something else, but now currently he is occupied with something else. Mother is frustrated because the daughter is very awkward kind of a personality for her. The daughter is a big matter of worry because her daughter is totally opposing to her. She is quite in contrast to her. She is quite submissive, mild and meek kind of a personality, very introvert and shy personality she has. And mother is very extraordinary so far as external beauty is concerned, so far as communication skills is concerned, so far as dynamic personality is concerned. The mother was extraordinary during her youth. She used to be a very beautiful lady during her youth time. She also received so many gentlemen callers in her life before she got married with a man, right? But we don't find that kind of those kinds of characteristics in her daughter. She is quite mild and meek kind of a personality. She is very submissive kind of a girl, very awkward one, right? And she finds herself pleased and happy only in the company of glass objects, those objects made of glass figurines. And the play is titled after this particular fantasy of Laura, that she finds herself comfortable only in the company of those objects made of glass. So what happens here, each of the three persons have different kinds of personalities. They are not having any unity. The son is very extravagant, very careless, very carefree life he is leading. Whenever he comes home, he always involves in a heated discussion with mother. Even Amanda, the mother figure, is also very possessive kind of a lady. She always gives advices after advices, suggestions to the son. Every now and then she rebukes the son, and she does not like the habits cultivated by her son. So there always remains a clash between the two, mother and son, right? It is only the sister, Laura, who reconciliates the mother and son. She is just playing a role of intermediator between the mother and brother. And it is she who brings this kind of compromise between the two. Here, what happens, that son is there in the family. He also wants to run away physically. He does not want to come home at all, but he is also concerned to his sister's progress, prospects of life, because it is his mission to find out also a suitor life partner for his sister. Mother is excessively concerned and worried about the prospects of her daughter's prospects, because it is only her goal that she wants to find out a suitor life partner for her daughter. So there is a fourth character also here, Jim O'Connor, a gentleman caller who will come in the last scene. He is the only realist character because he remains down to earth. He does not find himself in illusions the way we find here the other characters are feeling themselves lost in illusions. We will also have to consider this thematic concern as a major thematic concerns which the dramatist has raised in this play, the conflict between illusion and reality. Okay, so that is the play. Yeah, there is also one invisible character, the father figure, who has left the family in a helpless condition years before. When Tom and Laura were just kids, that father figure who was working in a telephone company, he fled away from the family, ran away from the family, and nothing has been heard from him except one postcard saying hello, goodbye, nothing else than that. So he is not physically present on the stage in the entire play, but then even we will find his absence is felt by those characters who are playing their roles in the play. Even Amanda is having a regret of marrying a man who left her in a helpless condition, leaving the responsibility of upbringing the two kids on her shoulder. So she is also having that repentance that she chose a life partner who disobeyed her, who betrayed her, right? Who cheated, who played a trick with her. So she feels that she has become a victim of that disobedience. She feels that she has been cheated by her life partner. That's why she wants such kind of life partner for Laura who will not do the same kind of job with her daughter. Even she excessively takes care of Tom because she has fear that Tom also will not become, should not become a man like his father. He must also not leave his family in a helpless condition. So here we will find mother, possessive kind of a person, excessively taking care of daughter and son. Son does not like the interference of his mother every now and then in each and every matter. Son does not like the scolding by his mother again and again. Daughter also likes to stay all alone, isolated. She wants to have a solitary life, isolated life. She does not want to go even in public. She is a kind of awkward personality who does not like to stay in public. She always finds herself with non-living entities. She always finds herself happy and comfortable in the company of those objects made of glass figurines. So here you will find each of the characters to be different from one another in one or the other ways. Yeah, they are having the illusions with them. That's why perhaps we will discuss that point with in detail. Right? So in the previous session we could discuss only scene one in which we had seen how mother and son both involved in a hinted discussion. You know, they are at the dining table and mother is constantly nagging son that you are eating in this way, you must not in this way, you must eat in this way. You are not chewing much, you should chew much before you swallow your bite into your stomach, something like this. Very common instructions are given to Tom, which Tom feels that she should not have given it to her. Okay, so we find mother and son indulging in a clash. A very heated discussion takes place between the two. Okay, so from the very beginning of the play, we will find that a kind of a quarrel takes place between mother and son, and son refuses to stay at home and goes away from home to go to the theater. Every night it happens that Tom goes to the theater and he leaves the home, and that habit is not liked by mother. Mother has the fear in her mind that perhaps even the son will also lead on the same path which his father had led. Okay, so because of that reason only she has become over possessive, especially in regard to the upbringing of her son and daughter. We will discuss scene 2, scene 3, scene 4 and 5 today. Very briefly, we will go through the entire scene and we will see what kind of personality they are, what happens in a family. Right? I am sharing a screen and we'll start discussing scene 2 today. Yeah. We will discuss this point in the later part of our lecture, the conflict between illusion and reality. We will try to interpret this thematic concern in this play from critical point of view. Okay, fine. Scene 2 is there, where Laura is there and Amanda. The conversation takes place between the two only, Laura. Actually, a mother had to go, Amanda had to go to attend one meeting. She is working as a salesperson in raising the subscriptions of a magazine. Okay, so she had to go to attend a meeting, and she has returned home. She has returned home from her meeting. Actually, she didn't go to attend the meeting. Halfway, she visited another place, and then she came back in a frustration. Let me tell you the fact, what happened. Amanda thought that she had enrolled Laura in one college to learn typing. So she thought that let me go to the college and inquire the progress of Laura. Okay, so she went to college, inquired about Laura, and she got shocked to know that Laura has left the college many days before. When she inquired that what had happened with Laura, one of the teachers of Laura informed her that she was very awkward kind of a girl. She was hesitating and shivering too much. And one day, when the test was conducted, Laura got disheartened and she got totally shocked, and she was taken into the washroom, and then from that day onwards, Laura stopped coming to the college. And this incident revealed by one of the teachers shocked Amanda totally, because Laura used to go to college every day. But here the teachers informed that for so many days Laura has not turned up to the college. So that is very shocking news she receives from the college. And instead of going to attend the meeting, she directly comes back to the house in a very shocking and in a very frustrated condition. Now, Laura asked one question. Hello, mother. I was. Actually, she wanted to tell something, but she was interrupted by Amanda. Deception? Deception? You cheated with me? You played a trick with me? Mother is very shocked. Mother is very frustrated. She is really feeling very sorrowful. She is totally melancholic. That's why she is asking one question, that you deceived me? You played a trick with me? Laura could not understand the point. That's why she asked, how was the DR meeting? Was it okay? Didn't you attend? Didn't you go to the DR meeting, mother? Amanda replies, no, no. I did not have strength to go to the DR, in fact. What does she say? I didn't have the strength to go to the DR. Actually, she is now revealing the entire an incident, what had happened with her, that she really was on the way to go to attend that meeting, but in between she thought that let me go to the college, inquire about the progress of Laura. And she says here, see, in fact, I did not have the courage. I wanted to find a hole in the ground and hide myself in it forever. See how much shock she is in. A deep shock she feels when she came to know about the absence of Laura in the college. Right? She says that I wanted to find a hole in the ground. I wanted to seek my permanent place in the hall if I had found the hole in the ground. That is what she says. Means she is expressing her regret. She is expressing her anger. Now Laura is asking the question that what did happen with you? Why did you do that, mother? Why you are, Amanda said that, why, how old you are, Laura? Tell me. Well, Amanda is asking one question to Laura, that how old you are, Laura. Mother, you know my age. I thought that you were an adult. It seems that I was mistaken. Amanda does not come to the point directly, but says it in a different way, that I thought that you are an adult, but it was my mistake. It was my misunderstanding. It was my misconception. Laura says that, please don't stare at me, mother. Please come to the main point. What had happened with you? Why do you say, why do you talk in that way? Amanda says that what we are going to do, what is to become of us, what is the future. So she is having some unanswerable questions that what we are going to do, what is going to become of us, what is the future, tell me, happen with you, Laura? Has something happened, mother? Still she is not getting the idea. Mother, has something happened? Amanda, I will be all right in a minute. I'm just bewildered. I'm by my life. She says, bewildered means I'm really frustrated. I'm really disillusioned. I'm really disappointed. She says. Laura still asks one question. Mother, I wish that you would tell me what has happened. Please tell me what has happened. Amanda, as you know, I was supposed to be instructed by the office at the DAR in the afternoon, right? But I stopped off at Rubican's college, business college, to speak to your teachers about having a cold and ask them what progress they thought you were making down there. So now mother comes to the main point and says that actually I was on the way to go to attend the meeting, but I thought that let me stop here, let me go to your college, inquire about the progress that you made. Even also you are suffering from severe cold, so wanted to ask them what progress uh, uh, have you made in a college. And now Laura comes to know what would have happened with mother, because she knows she does not go to the college. Perhaps Amanda, her mother, would have received a great shock. That's why she says, oh. Amanda continues her talk that I went to the typing instructor and introduced myself as your mother. See, she's revealing entire incident that what had happened with her when she visited the college and inquired about her. And she says that I went to your teacher directly and introduced myself as your mother. She didn't know who you are, Wingfield. She said, we don't have any of the students enrolled at the school. See, even your teacher does not know your name. She was surprised to know Wingfield, kind of a surname, and she also directly told me that we don't have such kind of student here in the school. I assured her she did that you had been going to classes since early in January, right? I told her that you have been going to the college regularly since January. I wonder, she said, if you could be talking about the terribly shy little girl who dropped out of school after only a few days attendance. And then she came to know about you, and she recalled and she told me something about you that yeah, one of the students, very terribly shy little girl, she was, and I think she told me that you dropped school after just few days of attendance, right? Then she remembered about you. No, I said, Laura, my daughter has been going to school every day for the past 6 weeks. I told her that no, my daughter has been coming to school regularly, almost for past 6 weeks. But she told me, excuse me, she said, she took the attendance book out and there was your name unmistakably printed and all the dates you were absent until they decided that you dropped out of school. Yeah. See, even I also tried to verify whether the teacher is wrong or right. That's why I asked her to show me the attendance sheet. She also showed me the attendance sheet. There was your name printed on that attendance sheet. But all the dates were empty. You were absent almost in all the dates. And they thought that perhaps you have dropped the school. I still said, no, there must have been some mistake. There must have been some mix up in the records. That's what I told her. But she was not ready to accept my proposal. And she said that, no, I remember her perfectly now. That her hands shook so that she could not hit the right keys. The first time we gave a speed test, she broke down completely, was sick at the stomach, and almost had to be carried into the washroom. The entire incident was revealed by your teacher that one day your test was there and you could not hit the right keys and you broke down yourself completely and got shocked and was carried into the washroom. After that morning, she never showed up anymore. We phoned the house but never got any answer, right? So that was the remark given by your teacher while I was working at a famous bar, I suppose, demonstrating that those. Oh, I felt so weak, I could barely keep on my feet. See, I was totally shocked to know that you have stopped going to the school. I was totally shocked to know that you were carried to the washroom and you stopped going to the school and you have been absent for so many days. Really, I could not stand on my feet after knowing this fact from the teacher. That, that is what she says. I had to sit down while they got me a glass of water. $50 tuition, all of your plans, my hopes and ambition for you, just gone up the spout, just gone up the spout like that. Now, here is the feelings of frustration, extreme frustration expressed by mother, that we have paid the tuition fees, $50, all have gone in vain. In not only tuition fees, but also my hopes, my ambitions for you, all have got shattered against the vast force of reality. The reality is really very horrifying. What are you doing? So a long dialogue uttered by a mother, it was really shocking to a daughter also, because now a daughter has come to know that mother has come to know the fact which she was hiding for so many days. Laura just said, oh. Amanda said, Laura, where have you been going when you have gone on pretending that you are going to the business school, college? Tell me. Okay. Now, one question I would like to ask you. Where did you go to when you were going from the house pretending that you are going to the business college? Where did you visit? How did you pass your time? With whom you passed your time? Will you please let me know? Now, definitely a mother should ask this question and the daughter has to reply. And what does she say? Daughter says that I have just been going out walking. Yeah. I used to go out from this house pretending that I'm going to the college, but I didn't go to college directly. I used to go out only for walking. That's not true. I cannot believe this. Laura said, it is. I just went walking. Yeah, it is. That is the truth. Walking in winter, deliberately caughting pneumonia in that light pond. Where did you walk to, Laura? Walking? You say that you went only for walking in this winter? And you deliberately caught that pneumonia? Where did you walk to? Tell me, where did you walk to, Laura? Now Amanda says that all sorts of places, mostly in the park. Amanda says, even after you would have started catching that cold, then even you continued going there for walking in parks? Laura said, yeah, it was the lesser of two evils, mother. I couldn't go back up, threw up on the floor. Amanda, from 7:30 till after 5, every day you mean to tell me you walked around in the park? Right from early morning to the evening time, right from 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you used to walk only in the park because you wanted to make me think that you were going to Robinson's Business College? Just and just only making me realize that you are going to the college. This much period of time in a day, from morning to evening, you used to walk only, just making me realize that, just making me think that you are going to the college. Laura says that it wasn't as bad as it sounds. I went inside places to get warmed up. Inside places? Where inside places? I went in the art museum and the bird houses at the zoo. I visited the penguins every day. Sometimes I did without lunch and went to the movies. See, these are the places she mentions that she used to visit during the daytime from morning to the evening time. Museum, zoo, bird houses, movies. Lately, she further says that lately I have been spending most of my afternoons in the dwell box, that big glass house where they raise tropical flowers. See, this girl likes the company of flowers, this girl likes the company of non-animate items, especially those objects made of glass in the house, right? She does not like the company of other person. She does not like the company of human beings, but she likes the company of non-animate, non-living entities. Amanda now asks very vehement question, very unanswerable question. You did all this to deceive me, just for deception? Why? Why did you do this all? You deceived me. You have played tricks on me. You have tried to cheat me. Now Laura is answering, Mother, when you are disappointed, you get the awful suffering look on your face, like the picture of Jesus' mother in the museum, right? Now Laura wants to tell this, that actually I didn't want to frustrate you. I didn't want to make you disappointed. I don't want you to be frustrated one. I don't want to see your frustrated face. I just for the sake of this purpose only, I used to pretend that I'm going to the college. Hmm. Laura says, I couldn't face it. Really. It is unbearable for me to face you in that condition. That's why I pretended that. That's why you think that I have played a trick on you. Amanda says now in a very long time. See, now frustration is there. So what are we going to do the rest of our lives? Hmm? Okay, fine. Now you have stopped going to the college, right? What are we going to do now? What will happen with us in the rest of our lives? Will you stay home and watch the parades go by? Amuse ourselves with the glass menagerie, darling? Eh? Will you just stay at home all the times in the company of glass figurines? Hmm? What will happen? Eternally play those worn out phonographs records your father left as a painful reminder of him? Will you just play the phonograph records only? What will you do in the entire day? We won't have a business career. We have given that up because it gave us nervous indigestion. What is there left but dependence all our lives? See what we are doing. We both creatures. You, daughter, and me, mother. We both are dependent creatures. Eh? What are we going to do? I know so well what becomes of unmarried women who aren't prepared to occupy a position. See, this lady knows quite well that what happens with unmarried women, because ultimately it's very painful duty for the unmarried women to stay at home all the times. I have seen such beautiful cases in the south, barely tolerated spinsters living upon the grudging patronage of sister's husband or brother's wife. She knows, she knows quite well the condition of those spinsters, unmarried women, staying with family, staying with a sister's husband or brother's wife, a kind of a dependent creature, stuck away in some little mousetrap of a room, right? She knows that it's really a very savage life. It's the life of an animal entrapped in a cage. That's what she says. It's really a very horrible life one has to lead unmarried woman. Encouraged by one in law or another, visit another little bird like women without any nest. See, this is the a frustration of a mother, and she knows this. And she says that it's a kind of a life that you will live like a bird. You will have a bird like life. You will be just a kind of a bird without any nest. Bird, ultimately has to roam places to places. If a bird does not have any nest, that bird has to go on roaming places to places for shelter only, eating the crust of humility all their life. Yeah, they will have to depend on the others' humanity. Is that the future that we have mapped out for ourselves? Do you think that this is future? That's what a mother says. I swear it's the only alternative. I can think of. It is not very pleasant alternative, is it? Do you think that this is really the best option to live by? Do you think that this is the best alternative? It is not the good alternative. Mother knows the life, what kind of life it will be if girls remain unmarried. Of course, some girls do marry. Haven't you ever liked some boy? Now, mother is asking one question, very plainly, in a very straightforward way. That don't you think that you have ever liked a boy in your life? Nora said, yes. I liked one once. I came across his picture while ago. Now, for the first time in life, Laura expresses her feelings that I liked one boy during my school time. I have also seen his picture just a few moments ago. Amanda says, have you got a picture? He gave you his picture also? No, it's in the yearbook. Amanda felt pleased for a while that she thought that that boy would have given his picture. But Laura makes it clear that actually that he didn't give her a picture, but it is there in the yearbook. It is one kind of a record book in which all the classmates pictures are stuck on that book and it is kept as a memory only. Amanda says, oh, a high school boy. Laura said, yes. His name was Jim. Here he is in the Pirates of Vengeance, a book she shows to her mother. That see, this is the picture of that boy. Jim was the name of that boy. The what? Laura says, the operator the senior class put on. He had a wonderful voice and we sat across the aisle from each other Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays in the odd. So here Laura expresses the fact before mother that we used to spend our time together Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Here he is with the silver cup for debating. See his grin, something like that. She shows Amanda. He must have had a jolly disposition. Means is he a very handsome one? Mother is asking a question to Laura. And Laura is. He used to call me Blue Roses. He used to call me Blue Roses. Why did he call you such a name that mother wants to know? Why did he call you with that name? Blue Roses. Laura says, actually, I am not reading that entire dialogue, but one day Jim would have asked that what is the problem she is suffering from? What is the disease she is suffering from? And Laura replied that I am suffering from pleurosis. PLU, right? Pleurosis. 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 But mistakenly, Jim would have understood that it is pleurosis, right? That's why from that day onwards, he used to refer her or he used to call her as the pleurosis, Amanda. Fine. Now a conversation goes between the mother and further also. I'm not reading that, but that has made one thing clear that mother is really in a frustrated condition here, right? Fine. Now scene 3 will start. Once again we will have a conversation taking place between Amanda and Tom. Okay. Fine. Heated discussion once again will take place. Okay. I will read from this point. Tom says, what is in Christ's name am I? Amanda says, don't use that. One day at evening time when they are there at the time of supper, dinner, and Tom starts conversing with his mother. What am I? I don't think that I have any personality. I don't think that I have any identity. And Amanda says that don't you use that. Supposed to do. I will definitely use this. Expression not in my. Oh, a kind of heated discussion started between the mother and son. Presence, have you gone out of your senses? Don't you think that you are out of your senses? Amanda is asking a question to son. Son says, I have. I am in my senses. That's true. I have driven out. What is the matter with you, you big idiot? Look, I have got nothing, no single thing. Please don't use that word for me. Tom is asking his mother, don't use that word. Lower your voice. Tom says, in my life here that I can call my own, everything is, stop that shouting. Actually, Tom wanted to say something, but he was stopped, interrupted by mother. Stop that shouting. See, the possessive mother, what kind of imperative sentences she is using right now with son. She is not very moderate and mild and polite with her son. Even the son is also not mild, moderate and polite with mother. Stop that shouting. Tom says, yesterday you confiscated my books. You had the now to. Actually, why did this conversation take place between the mother and son? It had happened, Tom had come to know that the books which he had issued from the library have been once again given back to the librarian by mother. He had taken two novels written by D.H. Lawrence. And when mother had seen those books at home, taken by Tom from the library, she had submitted those books to the librarian once again. That's why Tom was very angry, and he will ask one question that how did you, how dare you to submit my books without my knowledge? Amanda says that I took that horrible novel back to the library. Yes, that hideous book by the insane Mr. Lawrence. See, he says, I don't want those kinds of hideous books written by dear Lawrence. I cannot control the output of diseased minds or people who cater to them. Hmm? She says. I don't want such kind of rubbish or no, heap of rubbish at my home. I won't allow such filth brought into my house. No, 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 she says. Very vehemently she opposes that I don't want such kind of rubbish books, useless books, nonsense books at my home. House, who pays rent on it? Who makes a slave of himself to? Amanda, don't you dare to, please, don't use such kind of words. No, no, I mustn't say something. I have got to just, let me tell you, I don't want to hear anymore. So, once again, son does not like the way mother behaved with her. Mother also does not like the son the way he behaved with her. Okay. Amanda says that you will hear more. You will have to hear me. Tom says, no, I won't hear more. I'm going out. Amanda says, no, you come right back. Tom says, no, I will go out, out, out because I'm come back here, Tom Wingfield. I'm not thrown walking to you. I'm not through walking to you. I will not come to you to catch you. Please obey my instruction. Follow my instruction. Oh, go. I will definitely go. Laura says, Tom, Amanda, you are going to listen and no more insolence from you. I am at the end of my patience. I'm losing my patience. Please, you will have to obey me. You will not be able to go outside. Tom says, what do you think I'm at? Aren't I supposed to have any passions to reach the end of mother? I know, it seems unimportant to you what I'm doing, what I want to do. Having a little difference between them, you don't think that. Here, for the first time, Tom has told the fact and revealed the fact with mother that see, you are not at all concerned to what I'm doing right now. You are not at all worried about my future. You even do not want to know what I want to do. So that frustration he reveals with mother that you are not at all concerned to my future progress. Amanda says that I think you have been doing things that you are ashamed of. Now Amanda also reveals her frustration that you have been carrying out all such kind of habits which you must feel ashamed of. You should not have such kind of ill habits. That is what mother says. What does she say further? That's why you act like this. I don't believe you go every night to the movies. See, mother plainly and in a very straightforward manner says to the son that I don't like your manners. I don't like you to go to the theater every day. Nobody goes to the movies night after night. Nobody in their right mind goes to the movies as often as you pretend to. People don't go to the movies at nearly midnight. Movies don't let out at 2 a.m. Come in stumbling, muttering to yourself like a maniac. You go 3 hours sleep, you get 3 hours sleep, and then go to work. Oh, I can picture the way you are doing right doing down there, mopping, dopping, because you are not in condition. So here, mother tells the truth to the son, and the son will definitely not like these kinds of comments made by mother. What does she say? She says that you go to the theater every day, right? You go to the movies every day. You come back in a drunkard condition, stumbling, muttering to yourself. You are behaving like an insane, right? You come to home at 2 o'clock and you just get a sleep of 3 hours and then you go to work, right? There also you cannot concentrate more on your job, mopping and dopping and everything. So that is what you are doing, and I do not like this kind of life. That is what mother says to son. Now son says, no, I'm not in condition. Means I'm not in my normal condition. Amanda says that what right have you got to jeopardize your job? Why do you put yourself in a great risk? Why do you put your job in a great risk? Jeopardize the security of all of us. Why? How do you think we have managed if you were? See, mother wanted to tell that if you also follow the same path which your father has walked on, what will happen with us? Don't you think of us? Don't you? Aren't you worried about our prospects? Your sisters, mine one. Tom says, think, listen. You think I'm crazy about the warehouse. You think I'm in love with the continental shoemakers. You think I want to spend 55 years down there in that particular company, right? Look, I would rather someday crowbar and battered out my brains, then go back mornings. I go every time you come in yelling that God damn rise and shine. How lucky dead people are. Sorry, you every time you come to me and say that rise and shine. Every time you give me suggestions that please awake, rise up and please try to shine yourself in the place, right? Every time you have a very future prospect, you think about my future prospects and everything, right? See, I say to myself, he says further, that how lucky the dead people are, because I'm a living being. That's why you come to me and request me that rise and shine. Every time you want me to to get success in my life. I think that the dead people are really lucky because they don't have to listen such kind of instructions which I am listening from you. That's what he says. But I get up, I go for $65 a month. I give up all that I dream of doing and being wherever. See, for the first time, the son is revealing that frustration. What does he say? That I get up and I just a minute. I will try to highlight this point. What does he want to tell? That see, I give up all that I dream of doing and being ever. I give up everything. I give up everything. I forget everything. I give up my dreams, my goals, my hopes, everything. Only and only for the sake of family. See. And you say self's all ever think of? Why listen? If self is what I thought of mother. See, and you always tell me that I'm self-centered, I'm selfish, I'm not taking care of family. See, why is son becoming very angry with mother here? Because mother always, every now and then, tells him that you are very rough, you are very dull, you are very insincere, you are very you are not taking care of the family. Here, Tom, for the first time in his life, told the truth to the mother that, see, I wanted to become something else. My goals were something different, and then even I'm making compromise with my goals. I give up my dreams just and just for the sake of my family only. And you think that I'm thinking about myself? Don't grab at me, mother. Don't tell me like this. Where are you doing? Where are you going? And Tom says that I'm going to the movies. Amanda said, I don't believe that lie. Please don't utter lie. Mother says to son, I am going to the movies. Tom says that I am going to the opium dance. Yes, opium dance, dance of vice and criminals, hang out, mother. If you don't believe the truth, then let me tell you the truth that I am going to the opium dance. I am intoxicating myself every night. I am hanging there. I am one of the members of a gang, criminal gang. I have joined Hogan gang. I am hired assassin. I carry a Tommy gun in violent case. I run a string of cat house in the valley. They call me killer Wingfield. See, such nonsense things. When a person becomes really angry, when he cannot control his anger, such kind of words he will definitely utter. Here, son is becoming very angry with his mother's comments that you are not taking care of family. You are a self-centered one. You are leading a very carefree life. At that time, this son becomes vehement, sarcastic, angry, and says that I have joined a gang. I keep done with me. They refer me. They call me a killer Wingfield. I am leading a double life, a simple, honest warehouse worker by day and by night, dynamic czar of the underworld mother. See, I am leading a double life. And that is also true. He is not at all a member of that gang, but then even we can say that he is leading a double life. Because during the daytime he goes to the warehouse for his duty, and during the night time he goes to the theater for enjoying the adventures. What does he say? That I go to gambling casinos. I spend away fortunes on the roulette table. I wear a patch over one eye and false mustache. Sometimes I put on green whiskers. See, very rubbish and useless things he goes on uttering and tells his mother that I'm doing this and that, something like that, right? Oh, I could tell you many things to make you sleepless. My enemies plan to dynamite this place. Actually, this is also useless things he tells to his mother, that my enemies are trying to explode this house and they are going to blow us all sky high some night. I will be glad, very happy, and so will you. You will go up and up broomstick over Blue Mountain with 17 gentlemen callers. You ugly, babbling old witch. Very vehement words, sarcastic words, indigestible words Tom utters with mother. See, he says that I want to explode this house and I will be happy with this explosion. Meanwhile, they listen the voice of Laura. My glass menagerie means unmistakably here Tom had touched upon one of the glass figurines, one of the glass objects, and it had broken down. And Laura becomes very conscious and she is weeping, right? Amanda says that I won't speak to you until you apologize. This is unbearable. This is really unbearable. Mother says to daughter that this is really unbearable. Now, sorry, mother says to the son that I will not speak to you. Now, with this, the scene 3 ends and scene 4 starts. Okay? In this scene 4, what will happen? Let me see. See, Laura tries to console Tom. Laura makes Tom, Laura calms Tom down. Tom was very angry with his mother. Laura always plays the role of intermediator between the two. And Laura is requesting him that please calm yourself down. Please be cool. Be calm. Right? And she tells that please talk to the mother not in that way. Talk to her in a gentle manner. Right? And she says that it is you who need to start talking with mother. Right? And Laura is requesting. And I'm reading from this part. My cursor is here. Have you got it? Yeah. Laura is asking Tom that it is nearly 7. Don't make mother nervous, please. Tom, speak to mother this morning. Make up with her. Apologize and speak to her. Laura is asking, requesting her brother that please don't make mother very nervous. She's already upset. She's already disheartened. She's already disappointed with my progress. So please, you please don't make her more nervous with your behavior. Please try to speak to her. Make a compromise with her. Speak to her. Tom says she won't to me. It's her that started not speaking. So here, Tom becomes obdurate for a while. Firmly decides that she will not continue. She will not speak first. Laura explains. Laura tries to console him down, makes him calm down. And if you just say you are sorry, she will start speaking. Just one word you are supposed to utter, sorry. Then after she will start speaking to you. Tom, her not speaking. Is that a tragedy? Please, please. Laura, are you going to do what I ask you to do? Or I have to get dressed or get out myself. I'm not reading this further, but here Amanda says that Laura, will you please ask your brother to take his copy? Means she does not directly speak to her son, Tom. Okay, an indirect way she gives instructions to Tom that you need to take your coffee, something like that. So in this way, both will start conversing with one another. Okay. Here, perhaps you will find Tom says that I understand that, and conversation once again starts between mother and the son. Okay, and here you will find Tom speaking in a very gentle way. Amanda says that I have had to put up a solitary battle with all these years. See, I have to fight on the battlefield. I'm then thinking that I'm on the great battlefield. First, I fought with your father. He left me in a helpless condition. Then after, you are there. I'm worried about your future. I'm also worried about the future of our daughter, our Laura, right? See, you are my right hand power. Don't fall down. Don't fail. See, you are my right hand. I'm totally dependent on you. And Tom says that gently. He says that I will try my mother. I will try, mother. Try and you will succeed. Right? Why? Why you are not full of natural endowments? Endowments. Both of my children, they are unusual children. Don't you think I know it? I am so proud, happy, and feel I have so much to be thankful. But promise me one thing, sir. Promise me one thing, please. Here, Amanda tries to console herself, and she says that I have great gifts given by God. You are my two kids, my two great gifts. I am really proud of both of you. But you will have to give me one promise. Tom asks, what promise, mother? Promise, son, you will never be a drunkard, right? So here, mother is quite right in telling the son that you should not drink. Mother, Tom says that I will not drink. Mother, okay. That's what frightened me so, that you will be drinking. Eat a bowl of purina, right? Once again, she gives instructions that please take your coffee, something like that, take biscuits and everything. And I'm not reading further part of the conversation that takes place between mother and son, but here Amanda says to Tom that you should try to do something, you should help me. And Tom asks that in what way should I help you? And Amanda says very plainly to Tom that you will have to help me in finding out a life partner for Laura. Right? She is now grown up one, has reached to the marriageable age. So please, you will have to help me in that way. That is what Amanda says, mother says to son. Please try to do this. Tom says that I will try to help you. I will try to bring a life partner, a gentleman caller for her. Okay. And in this way the scene 4 ends. Scene 5 will start. There, Tom and Amanda both of are there on the stage. The conversation takes place between Amanda and Tom. Amanda says, "Son, will you do me a favor?" Tom asks, "What?" "Comb your hair. You look so pretty when your hair is combed." So such kind of instructions, very silly instructions, are also given by mother, that you should comb your hair. You look very handsome when your hair is in a neat and clean, or it is combed one. There is only one respect in which I would like you to emulate your father. Actually, she reminds his father figure, and even Amanda liked her husband's hairstyle, the style of combing the hair, something like that. Fine. Here, in the further part of the conversation, Tom reveals the truth to mother that I will bring one gentleman caller tomorrow. Okay, and really, mother gets excited when son reveals the truth. When son expresses that he is going to come with a life partner or a gentleman caller for Laura, right? See, I am reading from this part, very little part I will perhaps read. Tom says that we are going to have one. What? A gentleman caller. You mean you have asked some nice young man to come over? Amanda becomes overexcited, becomes happy when she listens that Tom is going to bring one gentleman caller. Yeah, I asked him to dinner. You really did? I did. You did, and did he accept? Is he really going to come? He did. Well, 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 well. That's lovely. So me here for the first time in the entire play, you will find Amanda becoming very much happy with Tom. Tom says that I thought that you would be pleased. It's definite then, very definite. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, most certainly he will come tomorrow. Soon, very soon. For heaven's sake, stop putting on and tell me some things, will you? What things do you want me to tell you? Yeah, naturally, I would like to know when he's going to come. He is coming tomorrow. Tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. But Tom, mother, tomorrow gives me no time. Actually, Amanda requires a lot of time to prepare herself, to prepare even the house. That's why I'm not reading further part, but here it is revealed by mother to son that definitely he is most welcome. and bring him tomorrow, no problem. I will prepare everything for him. I will keep the ready very tidy, clean, neat. I will also dress myself up in a most perfect way. I will also bring certain good dress for Laura. Okay, and this is what she tells to Tom. Right? Fine. Now what will happen, scene 6 is not there, I think, here in this text. It is incomplete text. I will definitely share with you a complete text today, just after this lecture gets over. Scene 6, yeah. See, in scene 6 what happens, that Jim O'Connor visits the house, and here what will happen in the Wingfield family. Amanda is overexcited. She is desperately waiting for Jim to arrive at home, and she will ask Laura to attend him, open the door. Laura also will open the door, but when she finds Jim O'Connor, because that conversation happened between mother and son only, so only mother knows that Jim O'Connor is going to visit the house, who used to be a boyfriend of Laura during her school time, right? So Laura didn't know anything about Jim, that Jim is going to visit the house as a gentleman caller. So when she saw Jim at the door, she found herself in a distressed condition. She got shocked, and that's why she could not talk to him. And she directly went to her room, and she stayed there only. She never came back from the home. Here, Amanda handles the situation. She offers every kind of drink and things, which is to please to Jim O'Connor, and she becomes overexcited. Even she dresses herself in such a way that as if she has to receive one gentleman caller. Okay, so she becomes very excited. Jim O'Connor also takes dinner, and then after dinner she goes to the room of Laura, where she had hidden herself. Conversation takes place between Jim and Laura. Laura slowly and steadily becomes comfortable with Jim. They also have a romantic scene. They dance together from the distant music that is coming to the tenement, and they dance for a while. Suddenly, Jim remembers his present status, that he has already got engaged with one of the ladies. So he reveals the truth that I must not stay here for more longer period of time. I have already got engaged, so I must not make any kind of promise to you. So that is once again a shocking news Laura receives from Jim. And meanwhile, what happens, that when they were dancing, one of the glass objects, unicorn, falls down, because unmistakably Jim touches upon that unicorn glass object, and it falls down. The horn of that glass object gets broken down, and even that is a kind of a symbol that here the hopes of Laura, for the first time she had felt herself to be romantic, and her all dreams got shattered the moment the unicorn got down, fell down on the ground, and her and that that horn was broken down. Here we can say symbolically the hopes of Laura also were broken down, because the truth was very horrifying when Jim revealed that he has already got engaged. The news also comes to mother Amanda. She also becomes fainted. She also becomes utterly distressed, disheartened, disappointed, and she also scolds Tom that you should have known this fact. You should have asked Jim whether he is engaged or not. And once again a heated discussion takes place between mother and son, and the son leaves the house permanently, in living both these female figures in a house. And then years years of period have spent, and then once again he comes to the present, when he remembers his present. Actually, he remembers his past, and then the play ends, and once again we are reminded that it was just a kind of a dream, or a kind of a memory which Tom had revealed, expressed before the readers, that yeah, I left my family years ago, but my bondage, my feelings, my inclination with my family is still there in my mind, and that's why he recalled those past episodes, and in this way the play ends. Okay. Fine. I will not read now the original text. Now it's the time for us to read the thematic concerns in the rest of the time. Okay. Today I would like to discuss with you this thematic concern because that is prominently found here in this text. Conflict between illusion and reality. We will try to critically interpret the text, the Glass Menagerie, with the reference to this thematic concern. Let's see what happens, what is there in here in this essay. Okay. Tennessee Williams is a wandering bird from one place to another in search of comprehending the meaning of reality and transparency of human soul. See, Tennessee Williams is also like Tom, wandering one place to another place in search of meaning of life. So we can also say that Tom is the shadowy figure of Tennessee Williams himself, because the trauma which Tom had suffered through, same trauma was there also with Tennessee Williams when he was during his young age. The strong echo of his past was reflected in his decisions and direction. His early tragic phase of life forced him to pen his works with great sense of loss and emotional sterility. Yeah, here also we will find a sense of great loss and emotional sterility, because Tom also does not find himself emotional. He does not find himself sympathetic towards his own family members. Yeah, he also feels a sense of loss. He also feels himself in a grief, in a melancholic condition. But he is having emptiness in his heart. He does not feel himself to be emotional one, having feelings for family members. Emotional sterility is also there in the part of Tom. Similar kind of sterility is also there with Linus Williams. His prime focus as a dramatist rests in understanding the complexity of human relationships in a wide sense. So somewhere, somehow, we will find Linus Williams discussing the human relationships, the complex human relationships, that how mother figure is not having any sense of respect for the progress of the son, how the son is his responsible son, right? So this complexity has been brought out here in this play. Okay, it has been brought to the forefront to the readers by Tennessee Williams through this play. He has been influenced by many literary personalities such as Anton Chekhov, Henrik Ibsen, Eugene O'Neill, D.H. Lawrence, August Strindberg, and Hart Crane. Such kind of literary figures made a long-lasting influence on the mind of Tennessee Williams. Williams owes his conception of illusion versus reality to O'Neill, Lawrence, and particularly the large portion is to be shared with Hart Crane, the American poet, who had undergone similar adventures of Williams. Right? So somewhere, somehow, we will find these literary figures shaping the literary career of Tennessee Williams. All the characters in the play. Now coming to the main plot, or coming to the play, coming to the text. What kind of thematic concern is found to be prominently highlighted by Tennessee Williams? All the characters in the play have a finger of illusion that versus reality. See, here we will find three characters: Tom Wingfield, the son; Laura Wingfield, the daughter; and Amanda Wingfield, the mother figure. Here it is claimed that they are having illusions in their minds. They never face the reality. Now, is it true? Let's see. Illusion is considered a feeble defense against a harsh reality of life. See, how can you see? How can we say that the characters in the play are all disillusioned, or they are having illusions? They are moving away from the harsh reality of life. They are escaping from harsh reality of life. How can we say this? When you are falling into the trap of illusionary world, what happens with you? What happens with you? See, when the present is not livable one, when the present is not enchanting and enthralling one, we always find ourselves lost in illusions in our past. It happens because we will take support of illusion for a moment. It will be, illusions will be a refreshment for us. Illusions will give us the sense of refreshment, the sense of relaxation. Because it is only in illusion we find ourselves in a comfortable position. Because the present is very horrible. The present is very terrifying. So it is only in the illusion we will escape and we will find ourselves in the most comfortable position. Right? People are lured to illusion, which is kind of falsehood and escapism that pretend to rescue them momentarily from the bitter facts of life. Yeah. So illusions will be a kind of a platform which will give you momentary pleasure. It centers on the expectation, anguish, dilemma, and failure of Wingfield family. Yeah, the entire play is all about the expectations of the three members of the Wingfield family, anguish of the Wingfield family, dilemma of the Wingfield family, and the failure of the Wingfield family. Okay, the characters in the play sway from or sway between illusion and reality. Tennessee Williams, one of the most celebrated playwrights of 20th century American literature, whose plays attempt to probe the darker side of human nature, the helplessness of human beings with all their sensitivities and illusions. See, if you are asked by anyone that what the play is all about, you can say that it's a play in which you will find the playwright probing deeper and deeper into the dark side of human nature, the negative side of human nature. Here you will find the dark side of the human nature, dark side of the characters is revealed. Son, instead of showing positive side of his personality, the dark aspect of the dark part of his life has been highlighted. Amanda, instead of showing her to be a very careful mother, we are shown her to be a very possessive kind of a lady. So dark side of her personality is reflected here in this play. Laura, yeah, no doubt gentle by nature, okay, but the dark side of her personality, that how she is very awkward kind of a personality, that is reflected in this play, right? So we can say that here is a play in which you will find the playwright to be probing deeper and deeper into the dark side of characters, the helplessness of those characters, right? And those characters who are really illusionary by mindset. He points out the brutality of modern man when he senses the difference of alienation in another. He shows the irony in how modern man wants desperately to communicate in a society, even when its taboos ensure a destructive battle for domination. Right? What happens? See, a human being, here common life is represented by the playwright. That what happens with common men when there is no one to support him or her, right? When they are there on the battlefield, when they are surrounded by the dominating characters, what happens with them? For example, daughter Laura, she is overpossessed by her mother. She has to obey all the instructions given by mother. So what happens when a person is surrounded by the domination? Yeah, Tom. Yeah, what happens when Tom has to make compromise with his all dreams? What life becomes? What kind of life he passes through? A life becomes hellish life. A life becomes totally meaningless, worthless for him. So what happens here that when you are surrounded by possessive characters, right, when you put yourself into a destructive battle of domination, what happens with you? Okay, Williams is a ruthless analyst of American psyche and a critic of illusions. Yeah, you see, Tennessee Williams makes great satire on the illusionary mindset of the characters. He also deals with contemporary issues such as the place of women in the society, homosexuality and its social acceptance, and the plight of battered wives. Tennessee Williams presents before us the dark world of one-dimensional society, of the modern civilization that survives in the midst of exploitation, violation of moral code of conduct, corruption, dehumanized passions of power, and intimate relationships. He makes us realize that such worldly circumstances lead lives of depression, alienation, and unhappy badness. Yeah. What happens when you get exploited, right? When you get betrayed, mother gets betrayed at the hands of her husband, son gets exploited in a warehouse, in a shoe factory, right? So what happens when you become a victim of corruption? What happens when you become dehumanized practices, right? When you become a tool of a power, when you become just a means of the controls of others, when you become just a tiny figure against the monsters. Okay, So here what happens that the outcome, what will be the outcome? What kind of, see, when you get exploited at the hands of your honor, right? When you get exploited at the hand of your own family members, when you are not taken care of by your own family members, when you are dominated by your own family members, when you become a victim of power structures, what will happen with you? What kind of outcome you will pass through? See, the outcomes are depression, alienation, and unhappy madness. Do we see such kind of images in this play? Yes. We also find characters to be victim of depression, alienation, and unhappy madness. The Glass Menagerie talks of the plight of ill-adjusted woman who remembers the myth of gracious living but is defeated by the harsh realities of the prison. Now we will find analysis of Amanda. What kind of character she is? See, ill-adjusted woman. She is suffering from the plight of the ill-adjusted woman. She knows the etiquettes of the life. She knows the manners of life, everything. But she is ill-adjusted. She is really not getting worth in a society. She is not to be taken care of. She is ill-treated by her own husband. She has been betrayed and cheated by her own husband. That's why she becomes a victim of ill treatment meted out to her by her own society members. She gets defeated by the harsh realities of the present. What are the harsh realities she has to face? Realities she has to face injustice at the hands of her husband, her own husband. Even she is not respected by her own son. Even she feels that her daughter is very awkward kind of a personality, and she has to raise her up. She has to find out her own life partner. She cannot manage her own life. So these are all the things which she has to pass through, and all of them are the harsh realities of the present life that she has to pass through. Okay? This drama has strong autobiographical overtones. As I told you, that Tom Wingfield is the shadowy figure of Tennessee Williams himself. By his own admission, his plays contain links to his own life. Three characters of the family resemble Williams, his mother, and his sister. Right? Williams seems to believe that the true romantic can find living pleasant only through his faith in idealism, dreams, and illusions. Yeah, only one thing is that. See, even in this critical condition, if you want to pass a very happy life, right, what will you do? For example, son takes the support of movies to lead a very happy life, right? Every now and then we will find Amanda recalling her past. So even her memory also becomes a source of solace for her for a moment. It will give her momentary pleasure. Okay? He seems to view the delusions of characters as pathetic defenses against the shipwreck of their lives. Yeah, pathetic defenses. See, delusions or illusions, those false beliefs. Son takes the support of adventure that he cannot find in the real life. So he finds that adventure in movie. For him, the movie is the great source of realizing him, making him, or putting him in an adventurous condition. That's why he feels that the dead people are very lucky. That's why he feels that those characters who are playing their roles in the movie, they are lucky because for a while at least they can escape from the reality. He cannot escape from the reality. Right? So he compares himself with the characters who are there in the movies that he goes for every night in the theater. Right? So what happens here, for you, illusion will become a kind of a support for a while. It will be a kind of a defense for you. You are in a shipwreck. You are in a ship. You are in a long voyage. When the ship is about to wreck, when the ship is about to get broken down, for you, what will remain with you? Only the ambitions, your unfulfilled desires, illusions will remain a source of pleasure for you. And here also it happens with the characters that their dreams, their illusions will give them the support. Okay? Laura lives in a world of illusion created by Glass Menagerie. Now coming to Laura, she also lives in a world of illusion. Okay? And that illusion has been created by her Glass Menagerie, collections of those glass objects. She fails to relate herself to the outside world in the school. Yeah, we have come to know this. Today only we had read that episode that she drops herself down. She does not go to Rubicon Business College where her mother had enrolled her to learn typing. She does not identify herself well in the company of human beings. She always wants herself to be isolated. She always herself to be put in a solitary place, in a lonely place. She always finds herself in the company of those glass objects, glass figurines. Right? She has withdrawn into a world of her own. She has her own isolated world. Okay? Her illusionary world. Her physically challenged condition is symbolic of her isolation. It is her brother Jim who encourages her to think of love and marriage, but the revelation of the truth about him sends her back to the world of illusion which is broken. The unicorn is symbolic of this condition. Yes. What happens? It is only her brother who encourages her to lead a very meaningful life. But ultimately, she also gets shocked when she comes to know that Jim O'Connor, with whom his brother has brought here as a life partner or gentleman caller, ultimately, when the reality was revealed to her, she really gets shocked. She really gets broken down. The way unicorn gets broken down. Okay, Tom. Now we will see how is Tom living in a world of illusion. Tom also lives in a world of illusion formed by movies, clubs, and luxuries. Right? For him, all sources of entertainment, movies, theaters, clubs, luxuries, everything becomes part of illusion. And this world this type of life will take him from this kind of life will take him away from the realistic life. His present job in the warehouse of the Continental Shoemakers is so frustrating that movies become the only outlet for him. Yeah, he does not enjoy his present job. That's why, for the sake of getting enjoyment, he takes the support of those movies during the night. This questioned the prevailing idea of the American dream. His longing to be quiet is not recognized. Yeah, see, his longing to be quiet, his wish to become quiet, his ambition to become quiet is not recognized. Ultimately, when he finds life at home intolerable, like life is on the fire path, right, that's why what happens is that he feels that his life is not a real life, it is a hellish life. And in order to get away from that hellish life, he always goes away from the house daily. Right? The gentleman callers for his sister turned to be wrong men. Depressed, Tom leaves home to join the merchant marine and seek adventure on the high seas and new cities. What happens that this man getting depressed, having got depressed at the hand of this Jim O'Connor, he leaves the home permanently, joins the merchant marine ship and enjoys the adventurous life which he had longed before, which he had always wished before. Okay, but even this turns out to be an illusion as he moves from place to another and turns back to his life in St. Louis with homesickness. So what happens that he enjoys that adventurous life on a ship for a while, but once again he gets haunted by his past memory. He feels utter homesickness. Okay, Amanda is caught up in the illusion of her gentle old southern upbringing. We are quite sure in the very first scene we have found her to be recalling her past. That one day on Sunday afternoon she had received gentlemen callers. Even she could not accommodate all those gentlemen callers. She had to ask a nigger. She had to send a servant nigger to uh, go for the chairs to accommodate those 17 gentlemen callers. So what happens here? Her past gives her illusions. For a while, she feels herself happy, comfortable. Okay, which has taught her that a man will support a woman, and that there are certain foolproof rules for snagging one. Her experience, however, proved this to be to the contrary specifically when her husband runs out of the family and leaves her to fend for herself, and later when Laura's shyness presents her from normal socialization, actually what happens that she passes through a very traumatic situation. She passes through a very horrible experience because of two reasons. First is her husband, the way her husband had cheated her, okay, ran away from the house. that gave her a shocking blow. Another shocking blow that she received from her daughter herself, when she cannot identify herself with the other people, right? When she does not present herself in a most comfortable way in a socializing activities. So that see, these are two reasons for her miserable life. Third is also her son, Tom, when Tom does not lead the life according to her wishes. So all these blows will make her hellish, make her life very hellish. Still, Amanda never stops believing that a gentleman will soon call upon her and make everything right. At the same time, she inflicts these illusions and reality on her children, insisting that if Tom finds a husband for Laura, it will take care of all their problems. See, it is only her one vision which she is highly concerned of, that at least Tom must help her in finding out a gentleman caller for Laura. The idea that Tom can solve all their problems with a replacement is itself an illusion, one that quickly eradicated by the reality once he brings home a caller for Laura. See, uh, uh, even she does not feel satisfied with her son's proposal. Even it turns out to be a very great shocking news to her. Once again, her life becomes very disturbed one. He gets an emotional blow, shock, torments she passes through when she comes to know about the reality that Jim has been already engaged with one lady. Amanda and Laura both refuse to face reality of their lives. Amanda retreats into the past and Laura retreats into her. See two figures here. Both refuse to face reality. How do they refuse to face reality? Amanda retreats into the past. Laura retreats into her. She does not go to the public life. She does not match herself with others. She does not develop relationships with others because she is very awkward kind of a personality. Laura's withdrawal is more deadening than Amanda's, however, because she is completely self-centered. Amanda is at least trying to hold family together economically and spiritually. Yeah, if among three, only one character that is the most responsible one, that is Amanda, because she tries to manage the family. She tries to bind all the family members on one platform, economically and spiritually. She tries to help Laura lead a normal life, first by sending her to business college, then by making plans and provisions for a gentleman college. So, as a mother, sorry, as a mother, what she should do that she does, she carries out her all duties most perfectly, most satisfactorily, but she does not give the expected result. From Laura, what happens that she stops going to college, so block a very shocking blow she receives from Laura. From son also, she gets shocking news that the gentleman caller whom he has come with, ultimately turns out to be a liar. Not liar exactly, but he is not an exact gentleman caller. Laura retreats, Laura retreats from the real world is a result of her belief that since she is crippled, she is unlovely and unlovable. See, she feels that she is unlovely and unlovable. She feels herself to be an awkward kind of a personality. She feels herself to be an unattractive, right? That's why Laura is frightened by a situation by which this attractiveness is directly tested, entertaining a man. See, she feels that she is really very awkward kind of a person. She feels that she really is very unlovely, unlovable, unattractive. And once she faces one challenge that she has to entertain one boy, one gentleman caller, she really feels that it is a great challenge for her to face. That's why she retreats and directly sends herself into an isolated room. Even she cannot talk anymore with Jim, even though Jim was a non-face to her. Self-centered for too long, she seems incapable of realizing that what comes into her world does not necessarily reflect on her. Given such limited perception, Laura cannot participate in human relationships and will continue to be unhappy in the real world. What happens that she has allowed unhappiness to spread over his life, or over her life. She knows her limitations, right? She knows that she cannot participate in socializing activities, and that's why she allows unhappiness to scatter over her life. In the play, Williams shows up shows us clearly that the various illusions of the characters are means of coping with the facts of their lives. However, frivolous and foolish their illusions may seem, all the characters of the play would suffer, perhaps even be broken if they are deprived of them. Yeah. See what happens that if you do not allow these characters to go into their past or to enjoy themselves in the illusion, then definitely they will become more miserable. If Amanda is stopped talking about her past, then definitely she will become miserable. If Tom is stopped going for movies, he will definitely become miserable. If Laura is stopped staying in the company of glass figurines, then she will definitely become utterly miserable. That's why the playwright allows them to stay in their illusionary world. Okay? Without the pretense. See, however frivolous and foolish their illusions may seem, all the characters of the play would suffer if they are if deprived of them. This is truth. Okay? Without the pretense and self-deception, Amanda would have no self-confidence and hope for the future. Yeah, definitely. Because she remembers her past, and from her past she gains that confidence that we can do everything. We can do everything. Jim would not have the hope for his future after his failure to attain the peak of his success people believed he could have. Laura would wither and die because she could not identify herself with anything, nor see beauty, delicacy, and truth in small, fragile, even commonplace things like her collection of glass figures. See, but each of the three characters will suffer a lot if they are not allowed to stay in their illusionary world. Tom would not escape because he could not hope to experience change and adventure. Without doubt, illusions provide a shield to the characters that might otherwise be crushed or doomed. Yeah. So what happens here? These illusions will provide a shield to the all characters, all the characters. It will give a kind of a relaxation. Those illusions will give them the refreshment. Williams depicts that life is a mixture of illusions and facts. Sometimes illusions give better relief to the frustrated man. Yeah, it happens. Sometimes when life is not enchanting one, when the life seems to be meaningless, worthless, pointlessness, right? Then illusions will definitely give you hopes, momentary hopes. Okay? Amanda's illusions are painful to Tom, Laura's and Tom's are painful to Amanda. See, Amanda's illusions are painful to Tom and Laura. Laura's illusions are painful to Mother. Mother's illusions are painful to Tom and Laura. Tom's illusions are painful to Laura and Tom. So each of illusions of each of the characters are very painful to one another. The characters of the play attempt to create an aura of illusions in order to either forget the unpleasant reality of human existence or to avoid certain experiences of the past. The characters of the play, they really desperately and consciously attempt to create an aura of illusions in order to forget the unpleasant reality, because it is a shield, it is a means through which they can escape from the unpleasant reality to the illusionary world. Sometimes they are also fed up with this material life and the worldly wise people they inhabit it. Such illusions serve as an escape for them and also enable them to remain disguised in a make-believe world. Right? So Williams was the first American dramatist to stir the conscience of the nation. But his play was not about social issues only. The playwright suggests to the modern world through his characterization that none can escape reality by simply taking off in the flight of illusion. This is the only lesson Nancy Williams gives to this particular play. Howsoever illusionary you are, howsoever deeply absorbed you are finding yourself lost into your illusionary world, but you will not be able to escape from reality entirely. Somehow, someday, you will have to accept the reality. He speaks to us about the inherent loneliness of modern life, the tendency of individuals to approach fatal alienation, the withdrawal from ultimate questions, that attraction of ill-considered ideas. Williams has conquered in prompting us thinking along that line by dramatizing the conflict between reality and illusion. So this is one of the common themes which is reflected here in this play, right? So that was the thing I wanted to discuss with you, original text as well as this thematic concern that I wanted to discuss today in this session, right? I hope everything is clear with you. Hello.
Yes, sir.